Okay, why don't we go ahead and start, Dean?
Okay. This will be the 182nd meeting. Calling the meeting to order. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes?
Yes.
Mike?
The lady, yeah.
Should we have an approval? Should we have an aye? Mark, you agree?
Agree, approved.
Mike? Mike, are you there?
Yeah.
I think he said yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear.
It's hard to tell. He's staticky. Might be on the road.
Okay. I agree also. But that's been approved. Should we go with the mechanics application? I guess we can take the West Side Medical Supply, Mike Leary. You had a chance to
Sure.
review his application? I actually know him. I know he's been in the business for a while. He's had his limited license mechanics for a while. Everything looks like it's in place. What do you think?
I would approve.
I'll approve also. Mike?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Okay. That's good, right, Lisa?
I'm sorry?
Is that good? You have
Yes.
approval for both myself. There's Mike. Hey, Mike.
Yes, that's fine.
Did he agree? I can't hear him. There's Randy.
I've been
Hi,
on, I
Randy.
just didn't have camera on. How you
We were
doing?
just going over the applications for the
Yep.
mechanics license.
Yeah, I just said I approved of that one.
We did. Okay.
I didn't have my camera on.
Okay. So the next one is Matthew Schickler. The only question I have on that one is they're not supplying the other information that we need, right? The certificate of insurance, certificate, the other stuff. I'm not sure. Would we need that, Lisa? All he has is 2 pages.
God,
They should supply that. Are you talking about Mr. Schickler's application?
Yes.
Is that the one that you sent me the 2 documents on this
No.
morning?
No.
Okay. Yeah,
Compare that to Kevin Leary. I mean, he's got certificate of insurance. He's got liability insurance. Should that be supplied along with workman's comp insurance?
I think the Kevin Leary one is for the company. This is to register the company. The other one is registering for a mechanic's license.
I see elevator installer certificate application, Randy.
All right. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
You're good.
Yep. How you doing, Mike?
Well,
No,
Nancy
Mr. Schickler
Schickler-
is for, no,
Yeah,
Mr. Schickler is for mechanic license.
Right,
and he's gonna work for Omni, and Omni has a city certification, don't they?
yes,
So I mean, as long as Omni has a certificate of for insurances, then if he's an employee, he's covered underneath Omni's insurance.
okay.
Right.
So
But the
going
Leary
back
one
to
is
West Side
for,
Medical Supply,
Yeah, they're looking for an installer's license for the company, it looks like. They've got 3 licensed mechanics. Leary is only one of them.
elevator installer certificate. This is for the company then?
I believe so.
Yeah, the one for Leary, that's for a company.
Yeah, it's for West Side Medical.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
Right, yes.
Okay, I was a little confused because elevator installer certificate application.
Right, it's the installer is the company versus a mechanic
Okay,
working for the installer.
okay. Do we approve of that one? We approve the company would be an elevator company, right? That's what they're applying for.
And as long as the license holders are all up to date, those are the people that work for him, and they're covered underneath his insurance, in which he sent along quite a few forms, so it says he's got insurance.
Okay,
So they've got 3 installers. Do we need QEI cards or anything like that from them?
no, they're limited license installers,
Oh, they're installers. not inspectors.
limited license
Yeah, they
installers,
would need
yes.
that. Yeah, okay.
That's why I was a little confused. Ron Netton is the owner,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
So, Dean, wasn't Leary in the business before he had his own business?
no, Kevin Leary's dad, Mike Leary, owned
Okay, Mike, yeah,
Access Lifts and Ramps.
yeah.
And they
okay.
sold it to another company or another
Got it.
person. The person now sold it to Access Elevator. Access Elevator has now taken over that business, but Kevin Leary no longer works there. He's
Okay.
working for West Side Medical, and that's been ongoing for 2-3 years now.
Okay,
So
Okay,
he's
so
been
they're a
working for
lift
West Side
installer.
Medical Supply doing accessibility installations. And I guess the West Side Medical Supply was never is never registered with the city of Rochester. Is that what you're saying?
Correct,
Right.
correct. So he
Gotcha.
had applied for a permit and I let him, under West Side Medical, and I let him know that the company is not registered with the city. So that's what triggered the application for him to get the company registered with the city. And just like you said, you've seen a lot of these gentlemen, they move from company to company. Next thing they're under one company, then they come under another company. So even for us to keep it straight in our system, at times it gets somewhat confusing, you know.
Right. Okay. So I don't have a problem with this
Oh, that makes
company
sense,
being
Cosmo.
licensed.
and I don't have a problem with it either, only because I've done personal business with West Side, and when I went in there, they never, they used to have chair lifts and that. What I mean by that is,
Right.
a chair in your living room that would lift you up so you could stand up. But I think this is probably their first venture into it, and they want to get into that. And usually that happens because they're not the only one medical company that does that. So
Right. Right. There you go. Okay. Very good. I approve of this application. So we have 2 applications approved, Lisa?
I believe so. Is anybody hearing a delay with the voices being repeated? I'm getting that on my end.
I'm
Well,
not.
it's kind of, yeah, I get a little staticky noise, but
It's like, like a delay where this,
I don't get it.
I'm
No,
not
I don't
getting
get it either. It's
Not
working
having
fine
any
on my end.
problems.
All right, so,
so we finished with, I'm sorry, we finished with Matthew Schickler.
yes,
Okay, I just trying to set my papers aside here so I can keep up. All right,
So who
we
have we-
approved that, right, Mike? Do you have any problems with Matthew Schickler?
no,
Oh, okay,
no,
okay, good,
so who have we approved so far? Schickler and West Side
right,
Medical
Yes.
Supply?
right. The next applicant is the inspector's license. Mike, you want to start us off with that?
yes. You know, it just came in as an inspector license, and that company does not have a certification in the city. But when in his application, he included a certificate of liability. And he also sent along his card, and that's all right. And to tell you the truth, when I sent my thing out, though, what I meant to show people was, in other words, minimum requirements for a registration. Here's what you need to get an elevators inspector's license, according to our own. I took this right off the city website. 1, applicant shall make an application to the Rochester Elevator Examining Board detailing appropriate experience and shall possess and maintain a current qualified inspector
Mike,
QEI certification. Number 2,
Yeah.
applicant must demonstrate an acceptable combination of experience and education credits, 5 years at 1,750 hours per year work experience, etc. It's the third one. It says applicant must submit a certificate insurance from an insurance company to do business in the state of New York as evidence of insurability levels as specified by the Commissioner of Neighborhood and Business Development. And that's fine. And he sent that. But the thing of it is his company is not certified to do business in the city of Rochester yet. The company that he works for is I'm on LinkedIn and I know of them. They're highly capable company, Liberty Elevator Experts, and they do consulting work and everything. They just don't have a company certificate here in the city. I mean, I suppose you could get one, but they'll have to meet the other requirements of having a certificate. Well,
well,
that's why, but you know, he has every right according to our requirements. He's got a right to get a license, but he doesn't work for anybody here. That was my bottom question. Well, how are we going to handle this?
well,
Is
I
it-
gave Lisa that minimum requirements registration. If you could put that up again, Lisa?
Sure.
And basically, if you look at the number 2, the individual has to have 5 years or 1,750 hours per year of work experience. Now, in the application, I don't see his previous employers, how long he's worked there.
On the second page, reference
Second
letter.
page. Oh, second
Yeah.
page.
the reference letter,
he's
which is
got-
signed by Chris Dodds. He owns a company. I mean, I only know this because, you know, I'm familiar with the company. And so, you know, it tells he was employed by them as an elevator inspector from 10/18 till now. It didn't give the year, unless it was November of 2018. So during that time, he's got 5,700 or 5,200 or 700. I
Oh,
can't
see.
tell.
Yeah, I got you.
5,200.
Okay,
I got you. Yeah. Okay.
so you know that was included in there.
Yes, I
So
see that.
um, so that's all up and good. But like we say, the only thing is he works for a company. They have quite a few offices all around the country, to tell you the truth. They just opened one in Florida, but their home base is in Pennsylvania. And so the thing of it is will he be able to do inspections in the city register? I mean, that's my question, because he meets the requirements, but his company is not certified to do work in the city register.
I think both have to be in order for you to do it.
You mean they have to have a?
I think I could be wrong. I don't know. I think they both have to be registered in the city. The mechanic and the inspection agency or whatever, because
Yeah.
unless you're working under someone else's,
If they're going
Unless
to
somebody
work.
subcontracted them. What's that, Mark?
I was going to say, if they're going to do work, that's true. But the way I see this is if he wants to be a licensed inspector, which is what this is really about. I don't see anything anywhere that says he has to be currently employed working for a licensed elevator company. I mean, to me, it's kind of the chicken and the egg. You know, if he can become a licensed elevator inspector, he might want to go work for a licensed company.
Yeah, he could. They could. What I want to say.
If you want to do his own business, then you know that's on him. You don't have to go work
Yeah.
for a company.
I have the same take on it as Mark does. I think he's met the qualifications for an inspector's license, but he can't use it if he's not working for a registered firm. So maybe
I guess we kind of.
improve.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
As I say, maybe we should approve this and notify him that until his company is registered, he can't really work in the city.
Right.
Because then they have to have an office within 100 miles. Now I don't know where their office is in Pennsylvania. And I know they got a QEIS. I know that because, you know, I looked them up online. I went to their website. You know, they have a couple QEIS people. But we may have missed, you know, and now when we look back, we may have missed that somewhere. We would have made a statement, and you have to work for a certified City of Rochester certified company. But that's not stated anyplace. So
Right, I do remember, and I believe it was 2016, you know, we included other inspection agencies to do the inspections in the city of Rochester. And I think we made some changes, but I don't remember what those changes were. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure where it was written anywhere. So, and I'm not sure, I'm not even sure about the 100-mile radius either. I can't find that anywhere.
I did. Wait a minute. I think I got it here.
You do?
I just took a
Chapter
look
50?
and found Ephrata, Pennsylvania. It's between Philadelphia and Harrisburg. It's more than 100 miles away.
yeah,
Wait,
it's more than
yeah.
that. It's like
Unless they
300.
have an office
Yeah.
closer.
I took this off the website, the city website. Elevator inspection company certificate of registration, minimum requirements. Number one, applicant must maintain an office within a 100-mile radius of Rochester, New York, and have supervision available on a day-to-day basis, a minimum of 8 consecutive hours per day. Applicant must have in its employee, this is number 2, at least one QEIS licensed by the city of Rochester. This inspector must be assigned to the Rochester area of the company and be available on a day-to-day basis. And that was right off our website. So there's where the 100-mile radius is in the
Yeah.
QEIS.
I couldn't
Well,
find that.
the
I'm sorry.
offices,
Yeah.
What section of the charter is that you were reading, Mike?
What's that?
What section of the charter were you reading?
I got this from, I went to the city website and I looked for elevator inspection company certificate of registration, and there it is.
Lisa, I sent you a copy of that as well.
Is it like 50 point what?
Hold on.
Not that one, the other one.
50.8.
50.8?
I don't know.
Oh,
Hold on.
Part 2.
that's licensure.
Elevator inspector license
Hold on.
application.
I think I found it.
I can open up a site. I'm gonna try it. Okay.
Mike, if that's the case, I mean, the company doesn't qualify.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how far it is from here to the Pennsylvania border. If they're right on the border, is that 100 miles? I don't know. The only other thing, and this has never been asked, and I don't know, if somebody subcontracted them, a certified company here subcontracted them, and then they would be covered under their license and their insurance, and even though the guy'd be covered by 2 insurances, I guess. But yeah, and as far as going down, I forget.
That happens a lot. They do that all the time. They bring people
And
from
I
out of
understand.
state and stuff, right?
Sure. And
Yeah.
that's great, but this isn't happening here. This is this company is big. What my feeling is this here, this company is big enough, believe me, that renting some office space someplace and putting a QEIS there would be nothing to them if they were going to get a big enough slice.
I just pulled up their website. Their corporate headquarters is in Newark, Delaware, but then they say they have satellite office locations in all 50 states. Which may be, they have one person covering 3-4 states, who knows? But interesting. They don't list the actual locations of the satellite offices.
Let me see if I hit it right. Let me see if I hit it. No, that's the mistake.
Sorry, I'm gonna bother Mike again. So Mike, I'm still looking.
Yes.
You say it's 50. What's the heading from what you were reading about the 100-mile radius and all of that?
I don't know if you can see this. This is This is what I printed off of the City of Rochester site.
Cosmic, I think it's on the application for the license itself. That's one of
Yes.
the requirements.
Okay.
Yes.
Not in the charter.
Would that be under like the commissioner stuff requirement?
No, just the,
I mean, I guess you could say that they don't have an office here, but he's licensed to do inspections.
This paperwork here to apartment. Yeah.
You just have to, one of the other, I'm sorry, go ahead. And if you look at the last requirement on this application, it does say one thing, you have to file reports in a timely manner as required by Chapter 5, Article 450-25E of the City of Rochester Code.
What's the timely manner? What would be considered a timely manner?
Gee, I would think, I mean, there's no set, I don't know of any set time, but when I was out in the field, I mean, I would turn them in. Actually, I turned them into the
Office.
city, and then I'd also turn them into the person that paid us, if you know what I mean. Whoever we were doing a third party for. And yes, I used to send them to the city also.
Yeah, because we just got a packet of like probably 3-4 months old packet, a whole bunch of them, and it's kind of a little old.
I turn them in. I used to turn them into whoever I worked for. I worked for 2 companies. One of them was NEIS, and the other one was ACE. And I would turn them in and to them, and they in turn turned it in. And you're right, because some of these things, it could, and actually, if you don't get it within 6 months, the same one might show up on another report. And usually, in my estimation, if it showed up on another report, nobody did anything about it. But, and that's why when I would use a code for each thing that was wrong. In that code, you could tell how long ago I wrote the original one. So in other words, if I wrote 4-567-78 as the violation number, in there you would know it would be 4 of 78. So if I wrote that twice, if I sent it in twice, that means it was never fixed. If the same thing happened, they fixed it, and 6 months later, when I went, it didn't work for any other reason, you could look at that and say, oh, it happened again, it broke again. That's why I used to do that. I don't want to, I think I'm a pretty smart guy sometimes, but
I thought we agreed to timely paperwork, or the expectation was within 30 days. I remember having that conversation when, Bob was complaining about, delays and getting paperwork and so forth. And, if somebody's on top of it, it should be coming in every couple of weeks. And even if they're delayed, there's no reason, no excuse to be over a month.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's not really helping anybody
Right.
know if they have problems,
No, not at all. Right.
30 days sounds a little bit more responsible. And Mike, you're a little more conscientious than some people. So I'm sure you did get yours in 30 days. That doesn't mean everybody else is.
I can't remember the girl that I used to send them to. At the city, I would actually send them, when I send them to my company. I mean, now you got email and all that, wham. I'd make PDFs of everything, and I just send them to the city. And As a matter of fact, one time she called me, I forget what her name was. Yeah, she called me, she says, this doesn't make sense. This this building is such and such a building. And you got the elevator in it. And I had made a mistake. God, she caught it. She was smart. But she caught that. And I'd send them to the city. So she'd get them and she could go through them and point anything out to Bob at that time. And so I guess, I haven't, I've been out of doing the business for about a year now, but I'm sure I used to send them to the city also. Because, when I sent them to the company that we did the business for, I would just add on the city and I would add on Ace Elevator.